Hello, fam. Here we go. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to try to make this quick because I have got a lot of work to do in this room today. But as I work on this room, I realize how qualified I am not to do this job. I'm painting my classroom, repainting my classroom. And can I tell you that I mixed the paint myself? I mixed the paint myself. So in doing so, I have areas that are dark, areas that are light, and now I'm redoing it to try to get it back, at least the room to look like it's one color, vice three. So as I'm doing this, I'm thinking about qualifications for different jobs and different things, and specifically in the body of Christ. And I could be going down the path that I have no business going down. I could be asking questions that perhaps I have no business asking. I could be, just nosy. I don't know what it is. I just like to understand things, perhaps. Look at that little roll curl right there. He'll be okay. I just like to understand things and qualifications for different things. We have to get off soon. My yard, guys, almost done. But like I was saying last night, in ministry, in the body of Christ, you have these titles. And I realized many years ago that titles were important. Titles made people feel important. Titles made people look important. And so with that being said, the goal seemed to be to achieve the title and not the work perhaps or the fruit that the title produces. I'm just curious specifically about this apostle thing. I can't, it's hard for me to just leave it alone, and maybe I should. Maybe perhaps I should. There's a good possibility that I should. But I feel like if you want me to follow you and you want me to share you as an apostle, I want to see the works of an apostle and not just a charismatic preacher. I want to see you doing something that the pastor, the preacher, the teacher, the bishop, the evangelist, all of those people haven't made it to your level yet, because you have the experience, you have the qualifications to be in this position, and you have the fruit also. And when I say fruit, I mean the works that you do are on that level. I mean you're teaching on a level. If you don't know Hebrew and Greek and what the letters mean, what the words mean, the original words, what the pictures mean from the Hebrew, I'm just questioning your title. Hey, Renee, thanks for joining. I'm on this little, I don't want to say rant, but thanks. I can't see who else just joined, but I'm just questioning people's qualifications. Thanks for coming in right now. I'm painting my classroom, repainting. I've been doing this for several days now because I decided to mix the paint myself. I am not a qualified painter. I got some paint on sale. It was too dark. I bought some white to lighten it up, and it was working. It was looking good, but I have areas that are too dark, too light, because I didn't mix the paint very well, and I'm going over those things. And now I'm trying to fix it. But in the meantime, I get these requests or these, yes, I have been painting for days because I'm not qualified to do it. Like, I'm trying to save money so I can buy all my school desk and supplies, everything to replenish the room, have everything new. But because I'm not a qualified painter and I decided to mix the paint myself, I decided to do mostly everything myself. It's not looking the way I would like it to look. I'm see if I can show you a little bit of what I'm talking about. If you can see in this corner, there's two different colors here. And at the top, you can see, that's my doing. I did that because I'm not qualified to do this, the way I would like it done. Here's my marker board. But I'm having issues. And then with this, I'm realizing how we can do things and we can say things and call ourselves things, not saying that everyone does. It's just an example. That we take these positions and we assume these titles, perhaps or maybe without the actual qualification. So the specific thing was, I've seen a lot of apostles here on Periscope, and I've checked out their ministries and stuff like that. And I'm wondering, like, how did you qualify for that? Even, someone who's my age or younger. Usually think about somebody with that title in the church or in the body of Christ. They've lived a long time. They had lots of life experiences. Not saying that God cannot anoint you for that position, just perhaps for whatever the reason or the need, wherever you are. But I'm just curious because I haven't seen anything new. I haven't seen anything that I've seen already. I haven't seen somebody walking into a church with one leg and coming out with two, without it being a prosthetic. I'm just curious of how people qualify for that position. Is it their education that qualifies them? Was it somebody who ordained them to that position, or did they do it themselves? I'm just wondering because I'm not seeing the fruit of an apostolic ministry, and it very well could be that I'm missing it. It's not what I think it is. It very well could be that I'm looking for something that's not necessarily a part of the ministry. I'm just curious. I'm with that title in the church. I guess I'm just looking for something different. I guess I'm just looking for something more. I guess I'm just looking for there to be more than a following. I'm looking for the fruit. The fact that I am not a painter, I am not a professional painter. I'm not even good at it. I am seeing that, hey, I can put some paint on the walls. And in some areas, it looks really good. But in other areas, it don't. So if a true painter came in and saw my work, he would be able to, or she, to analyze where I went wrong, how I can do it better, and how I could not make this mistake again. You can say, hey, you could have just hired a professional. But a professional painter would be able to see my work and tell that it's amateur and that it's not done by a professional. So just because we have titles, I guess, perhaps it doesn't mean that we actually are anointed for that position or good for that position. I'm just curious. I'm just wondering, how do you get that title? What's the qualifications for that? And I'm not saying that people don't actually qualify. I'm just wondering, how do you get it? And like I said before, I could be driving up a, dead-end road or a road that I shouldn't be driving up. But I'm just curious because when I see somebody with a title like that, and I'm watching you minister, and I'm watching you speak, and I'm watching what you've done, perhaps because your ministry has grown huge over a short period of time. But there, for that particular title, the apostolic title, that all you're doing is preaching really good. You have charisma. You have a little bit of understanding or some understanding. I don't want to belittle anyone's understanding or revelation, but I'm just wondering, like, what else is there to it that every other preacher, pastor, teacher, evangelist is not doing? Because I haven't really seen a difference. I'm just wondering. I'm just curious. I don't know. I just wanted to know what was the difference. And like I said, I could be driving down the street that I shouldn't be. But I think the problem with us, sometimes we don't question things because of titles. We don't question people because of their position. We don't question a lot of things. We take everybody's word as gold. And we shouldn't. We should be able to question people and ask for qualifications, and they shouldn't be offended for giving them. Just because you say that you are a preacher, you know, does that mean that I have to take your word for it? Or does that mean that you actually have the qualifications as that? You know, you can go online and get a license, you know. I guess the question is, were you called to that position, or were you self-appointed, or did somebody else appoint you to that? I mean, I'm just curious. It's just one of those things that I've been thinking about. I've been wondering because I've seen so many. I'm looking at this paint. I'm watching it, literally watching paint dry to make sure I mix the colors right. But doing this job, I realize how unqualified I am for this. Now, I can do it. It won't be perfect. It will be done. But had I gotten a professional, shelled out a few more dollars and gotten a professional, it would have been done by now. But again, I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I just, it's just some things that I've been thinking about as I continue to paint over my mistakes. Qualifications. How do you qualify for a high position in the church at such a young age? Not to say there may be a need for it wherever you are, but there's so many. And I'm not seeing anything different than what I've seen before. So I'm just wondering, what is that calling? What is today's meaning of that title? Because apparently I don't understand, or, I'm looking for, I have unrealistic expectations. Perhaps that's what it is, so thanks for joining me. If you guys want to, you come help me paint. I'm just kidding. Eventually I'll have it right or good enough where the kids won't think I've hired other children to do it. But you guys have a wonderful day. It's a beautiful Friday. It's the weekend, baby. And I'll be right here finishing this. So enjoy your weekend. Have a great day. Much love, peace, and blessings. Women, you are beautiful. You are smart. You are lovely. You are creative. You are intelligent. And you are needed. You're the seed carriers of the earth. And so you're needed. You guys have a great day. Oh, men, you're handsome. You are creative. You're smart. You're intelligent. You're strong. You're powerful. And you're also needed because you're the seed producers of the earth. And without you, we can't reproduce. So have a wonderful day. Enjoy the wonderful weather wherever you are. Be blessed, and I'll talk to you at my normal time. See you later. Peace.